welcome to Ryan. Yay. Hey, Ryan.
My friend has this theory that everyone peaks at a different moment in their life. Like you get this one ultimate peak, and he felt that he hadn't reached this yet, but he was close to it because everything was going great in his life. And I was like, fuck, dude, what are you doing to me? I peaked in the 5th grade. My life has been downhill ever since. I think this theory is making a lot of sense right now. I think it's bullshit. I mean, it was nice when it happened for me, because in my elementary school, Pomerado, home of the Wildcats, what's up? There was a real fever that happened. I mean, so many girls called my house giggling and hanging up that my parents had to change our phone number and take our name out of the phone book. They'd call up, be 11:30 at night. They're like, hey, what's up, it's Ryan. Oh my God. My mom's like, I can't do it. I'm like, no, please, let's let it happen. Was that Lisa? What's going on? Anyways, I think it's bullshit that you only get the one peak, so I think if we just analyze, how I climbed to the top of that social hierarchy of elementary school, maybe we can get one more under my belt before this bitch is over. My life, I'm gonna bitch. So I have the new kid thing, right? I'm new to the school, right? My parents are originally from New Jersey, and they heard that, hey, people in California are more chill, let's move out there. But they moved to La Jolla, and they got there and like, fuck, this is expensive. Let's move way inland where it's so hot anyone can afford a house. Hello, Poway. That's where I grew up. AKA always hotter in Poway. And so I'm a new kid at school. First day of school, my dad dressed me, and I'm wearing a leather jacket with no shirt on. He's like, yeah, that way no one will fuck with you. And I'm from Jersey. I had a Fonzarelli stitching on the inside. That was badass. And I'm standing there hanging out, and everyone's playing kickball. And I never, played this before, so I'm just watching. And some of the kids playing, they look at me and they say, hey, why don't you play kickball? For some reason, I took great offense to this, like they're trying to disrespect me. And I ran out there and I grabbed the kickball and I'm like, now no one's gonna play kickball! And I took off running with the kickball and I'm running, and soon I realized this is a bad idea, because there's lots of them. And like they can stop and take rest, but I'm just one man. So I turn around and I kick the ball as hard as I can, and it hits the kid in the face behind me, and he falls to the ground so hard that he breaks his arm. And it's all a complete accident. Like, I didn't mean to hit him in the face, didn't mean for him to break his arm, but that's not how the story is told in elementary school. The story goes, hey, no new kid, Brian Flynn, breaks kids' arms. And I heard he spits blood. I was like, what? Oh yeah, it was so dry out there, I always had a bloody nose, and so when I spit, kids must have been looking at me like, look, it's like bleeds on the inside, but it shows no sign of weakness. I was like, wait, make me some kind of fucking superhero. It's like, I'm at the bus stop one day, and we played this game like jumping shadows, when the sun's real low, the cars make the shadows, and we just jump shadows the whole time. Then one kid, I don't know what he's thinking, he's like, hey, I bet you could climb that stoplight. I was like, what are we talking about? He's like, most people are afraid to climb the stoplight, but not Flynn. Oh my God, in my mind, I'm like, most people don't ever think I'm gonna climb that stoplight. What the fuck? But now all the kids stop jumping shadows and they're looking at me, and I realize, I better climb this fucking stoplight. And it was actually surprisingly easy to get up there. I get up there and I just shimmy out a little bit over traffic, and I'm just holding onto the pole, and all the kids are going ape shit at the bus stop, and they get to school that day and it spreads like wildfire. Kids are liars. They're talking about, he's out there holding on with one hand, he's spitting blood, he's saying fuck you. I don't deny it. I let it happen. This is all amazing street cred for me. Boys start trying to buy my friendship. They're bringing little brown bags of fireworks, from Mexico. I'm like, well, this is amazing. But the lady fever didn't happen until my mom, being from Jersey, she loves getting her hair done. Big fan of the hair. She got me a hairstylist, like probably the only 5th grader in Poway to have a hairstylist. And I don't know if he invented the step haircut on my head, but I was definitely the first one in Poway to have the step haircut. And I don't know if you remember, that was that skater cut, all hair to one side. There's just a chop, so it looked like you had a step halfway up your head. And when I showed up to school with this new haircut, it was like, I feel like I was a fucking unicorn. I don't know what I'm saying. Kids, like when a girl has a really large bosom, like they're looking at you, but not at you. They're looking at my dome. And this changed my life forever, because somehow I became vice president of my elementary school. I wasn't running for election. Was that honorary? Did they just write my name in? Like, oh my God, anyone with that vision for the future of hair has got to be on our student council. I was getting Valentine's Day cards, and it's not Valentine's Day. Things are going great for me. I remember being out on the quad, and we thought we were gangsters. I really thought I was the shit. And my friends were talking to me like, hey, everyone's saying that Natasha Blackburn's saying that she gave you a blowjob. And now I'm in the 5th grade, this is pre-internet. I don't know what blowjob is, okay? But I cannot let my guys know that I don't know. So I'm like, actually, that's not true. I'll blowjob her first. Life kept going that way, it would have been great. But my parents told me that because so many people moved to Poway to buy the cheap house to go to the good school, that I would not be going to the same middle school as the people from Pomerado. That I'm going to another middle school since we live on the border. And I was like, what the fuck with my empire? I mean, it's never happened again. What are you doing here? And it didn't happen again, you know, and if that never happened, I mean, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I might be ambassador to Luxembourg or something real sweet like that. I don't know, I mean, maybe I'd be on a jet right now, little hand towels with my initials on it. I definitely wouldn't be living fucking Glendale adjacent, you know it. Things you begin. But I don't want to be one of those guys that's like always reliving his elementary school glory days, you know? So I think is if we look at the story, we pull out a couple tidbits, okay? Here's how it can happen. If you have progressive hair and a short temper, the world is yours. Let's go get him, Wildcats.